I think that's it. Hi, hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Mistress of Modules. So excited to have you all back here. Today we are starting a new module. So I have a whole new cast of folks surrounding me here. We are going to be playing through Rats of Waterdeep, which is a really cool mystery noir piece that was written by Lysa Chen and Will Doyle, who are both two DM's Guild adepts and just incredible creators, and I'm so stoked to share this all with you. But before we dive into all of that, I want to go around the table here and have these folks introduce both who you are and what you do out in the real world, and then also we'll wait on who we are playing today. We'll do that a little bit later. But Bianca, who are you, and what do you do out there in the world of creating?
Oh, who am I is a really deep question, so I can only offer up a surface answer.
Okay,
but
we'll take
my name is Bianca Zelda. Yeah, we'll keep it simple. I am a member of the Broadswords, all-women podcast who plays lots of Dungeons and Dragons. So I've got a hand in for this. And that's mostly my main activity is playing far too many tabletop games.
Hey, I think we all share that. And Jordan, who are you?
I'm Jordan with a silent PH in my name, so don't say it because it's awkward when I meet people. And they're like, Jorfton, right? I'm like, no. But I'm Jordan. I make Forgotten Realms lore videos on YouTube. And I'm also part of a podcast called the Saturday Morning D&D Show, where we stream on Twitch on Saturday mornings. We just talk about D&D and the games we're playing and the problems we face as dungeon masters, hoping that other people have the same issues and can learn from it. So it's kind of fun.
Yeah, all right. And then Laura, who are you?
Hi, I'm Laura. Find me at Win in Rome on Twitter, and you can also see me tomorrow night on the same channel with Celeste, playing some D&D with all the ladies.
Yes, our Rise of Tiamat game here on Nerd Immersion. And then JB, who you?
Hi, I'm JB, also known as Drop the Die. I do D&D things. And that's it. Hey.
Okay.
So come find me on Twitter and all that good stuff. Play plenty of games, doing all kinds of stuff. I'm glad to be playing with Celeste yet again. Second round. Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I know some of these folks, well, I mean, almost everybody here you see on Nerd Immersion. Reoccurring favorites. Bianca, thank you for joining us on Nerd Immersion. And I'll go ahead. Oh, yeah, I'm so stoked to play with you again. And I guess, on that note, hi, my name is Celeste Konowich. I will be your dungeon mistress today. So you can usually find me here on Nerd Immersion running this show, or like Laura said, on the Rise of Tiamat on Monday nights. You can follow me on Twitter at @ckonowich. And this is Nerd Immersion. We do a ton of different stuff on this channel, but there are some really cool things I want to tell you about, like our sponsors. We're sponsored by Initiative Coffee Co. They make fabulous coffee. So good. And if you look down below, there's a little $2 off discount code. You can go and get yourself some Initiative coffee. Check them out online. We're also sponsored by Elderwood Academy that makes amazing fine dice accessories. And they're some of the nicest folks ever as well. And just so, again, check out Elderwood Academy. Tell them Nerd Immersion sent you if you buy anything, and they'll be like, yay. So do that. And then also, you folks, you here can influence the course of the game. We have some donation options here down below there where you can personally donate to fill up this reliquary bar that you see here on screen. If we hit that full bar, something crazy happens. The reliquary tips and I roll on a random table, and that creates some kind of influence on the course of the game. Last module, we had pizza rain from the sky during the boss fight. Sometimes everybody in the world lost their fingernails one time. The world turned into a musical for 48 hours. Lots of crazy stuff can happen if y'all donate to tip the reliquary. And we're also super close. So let's see if something crazy happens this time. But that's my spiel for the whole channel. And I am very, very excited to get into Rats of Waterdeep, which again, so this adventure is meant for lower level characters set in Waterdeep. So it's meant to be like a perfect addition, if you're playing through Dragon Heist or you just want some like fun intro adventure stuff. So Rats of Waterdeep, you can get it on the DM's Guild. It's hopefully it's going to be a ton of fun. But with that, let's get into it. So all of you have been called to the Waterdeep Watch office. You have been contacted individually by a woman named Sword Captain Arvine Morrow, who is a woman of high status. She's, been out there working with the Watch for quite a while, and all of you have been called into her office. Basically, she has a mission for you. So I wanted to go around the table and go, why has Arvine called on you? Is this a mistake? Wrong place, wrong time? Do you have a reputation in this city? Are you known for this sort of work? What has called you into Arvine's office? So, Humphrey, let's go ahead and hear a little bit about your character and what has brought you here to work for the Sword Captain.
Humphrey Harrington is a well-known detective, not necessarily a reputable detective, but well-known. Therefore, when you have a certain job or a perhaps task that you might not want to get out to the general public, you contact Humphrey Harrington.
Yes, love it. And Alistair, who are you and what has brought you to Arvine's office?
Alistair is an Eladrin Fey warlock of the Summer Court, and he's on basically the equivalent of a student exchange program. So somebody from Waterdeep is now in the Feywild, kind of learning Feywild things, and I'm here. And I'm kind of a know-it-all, and I'm not thrilled to be out here. It's kind of grimy and dirty. It's a big city, and he's just like, I miss trees. But yeah, so he's not thrilled to be here, but he's here. He's learning and growing in experience.
Perfect. And Eli, what about you?
Well, Eli, also known as Reliable, but Eli to his friends. He's a shifter ranger. He's most known for doing search and rescue in the Yawning Portal. He's got the best nose in Waterdeep, so if you give him something to sniff, he'll track it down.
Oh, yeah.
But so that's why he assumes he's here, but who knows?
All right. And Chet, how about yourself?
One moment, please.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Oh, no.
Sup? My name's Chet. I'm a Minotaur. It's all good. I'm originally from Waterdeep, so that's nice. Studied at MU. Go Knights. You know how that is. My mom got me this job, but I earned it. Whatever.
Oh, yes.
I've been a detective for a while. Well known, not crazy or anything like that. Still starting out, cutting my teeth, as it were. But you know how things gotta go.
Definitely. Oh,
yeah,
man. I'm very excited to play with this group. So these are the people around you that you see walking in as you are leading into the office here. So you are led into Arvine's office, which is this very neat, very quaint little space, very well organized. You see Arvine is sitting behind her desk. She's a human woman, maybe in her 40s or 50s, like graying hair and a no-nonsense bun. Right now she's going through a bunch of paperwork. And you see at the other end of the room, there is a window, and there's a young tiefling man standing at this window, and he seems to be staring vacantly sort of off into like the gray air outside. And he is wearing a fedora, a brown leather trench coat, and you see he takes a long pull of a cigarette and kind of blows it out the window. And you hear that he is muttering to himself. And with that, I'm going to read you our first little text block. The sky was gray and grim in Waterdeep that day, gray as the faces of those poor souls stuck behind the quarantine barricade down the docks. Grim as them, too. The mystery of the rat pox. Docks disease. Pest plague. This case had a lot of nicknames. About the only thing it had more of was dead ends. We were about to give up when they walked in the door like a bright-eyed town hero walks into a tavern, armor gleaming like it's fresh off the rack with the tag still on. I didn't know who they were, but they looked like trouble. And as this happens, Arvine looks at him, because he's muttering this, and she sighs heavily, and then, hello, yes, you are the adventurers I called for. Please take a seat. I will get you that brief immediately. And she indicates to some chairs in front of her desk for you. And the young man at the window continues just...
I walk over to the young man, and I pull out a pipe.
Oh,
and I'm like, do you have a light?
Oh, and he looks startled, like, as you're talking to him, and he looks at your pipe, sort of nods appreciatively, and then gets out, like, a match for you.
Thank you. And I puff, 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 and light my pipe.
Yeah.
And there's all kind of like, it's like fey tobacco, so there's like weird like sparks and stuff coming out. It looks really awesome.
I love it. Yeah, and he again looks just super impressed with you and holds out a hand to you, introduces himself. Locks. Bogart Locks.
Well, Bogart Locks, nice to meet you. My name's Alastair. What brings you to your brooding at this window?
Well, you know, there's something moving out there on those streets. I can smell it. And he looks out the window, and Arvine again, like, kind of taps her hand down, is like, all right, well, all of you have been called here for a very specific purpose. I will not waste your time anymore. We have something of a situation on our hands, and the watch currently has their hands full with what the situation going on in the docks ward. We are short-staffed, trying to maintain the quarantine down there, and we need you all to investigate something that's happened. Earlier, we received a message from a retired sea captain by the name of Gerald Brigsby. He was supposed to meet us and give us some kind of clue as to everything that's going on here, but he never made the rendezvous. So we need you to go in, find him, find what happened to him, and maybe get to this truth, or whatever he was speaking about. Is that clear?
Clear as mud.
We have to find a Gerald Bigsby, you say?
Indeed. Yes.
Retired sea captain?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I've heard his name before, but he just came out of the blue one day with a message saying that he had something dire to share with us, and it was too private to send by message. He arranged a rendezvous. We went, and, well, he wasn't there. And at this point, Bogart also looks back out at the window and says, the old man said it was part of something bigger, but the truth was too dangerous to write down. He wanted to meet in person. Now I don't mind trouble, but the thing is, this had trap written all over it in explosive ink. We took the walk, but I made sure I was packing my hand crossbow. And he takes another out the window. And Arvine again just clasps her hands in front of her on the desk. If you will escort the young detective, and she looks over again, into the quarantine zone, find what happened to the sea captain, and figure out whatever it was he was trying to tell us. There's 200 gold pieces in it for each of you.
Were you expecting any information, or did this come out of the blue?
Well, we have been working hard to figure out the trace of this plague all of a sudden that's infected the dock ward. I mean, we have the quarantine going, but we can't keep this up forever. And tonight they're having some kind of prayer parade or something, and we need this solved. We need this definitively answered before this big event happens. People congregating in the middle of a plague zone. just asking for trouble.
Are you going to offer up us any compensation? I mean, other than the satisfaction of saving half the people of Waterdeep, of course we have to be accurately compensated.
Mm-hmm. Well, the 200 gold for each of you, and, well, the watch will owe you a favor.
Make it 2 favors and you have a deal.
She looks at you and she narrows her eyes. She's gonna, let's see. She's a very intimidating woman. Like, you just sense this quiet, like, seated power within her. And she's like, are you really trying to nickel and dime me with lives on the line?
I'm gonna lean in. I'm not, maybe like the top of my chin reaches the desk. I'm halfling short. And that's kind of like my level of intimidation. And I'm gonna try and stare her down as well.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and make me, an intimidation check.
Natural 20.
Oh my god. So she's like leaning, staring at you, and you like something breaks and she like just has to like blinks and All right, fine. I'll throw in another, 30 gold on top of it for each of you? We just need to get this done and done quietly.
Understood.
Is there a chance that we'll get infected entering into the quarantine zone? And what is this infection?
You haven't heard of the rat pox?
I just got here. I'm sorry. It's literally fresh off the teleportation circle.
All right. There's some kind of strange, it's a magical ailment of some kind. It starts with a coughing, and then people start to develop rat-like features, for lack of a better word, like growing whiskers and tails, and the final stage of it, well, people turn into rats. So you might understand why this is a very pressing issue. And while you are taking on a certain level of risk heading into the quarantine zone, if you solve this quickly enough, shouldn't be an issue. And she'll open up her top drawer and she'll pull out this like pack of dried flowers that have this purple kind of hue to all of them. And she's like, if you keep these with you, they should stave off some of the infection.
I take the biggest handful I can and put it in my pocket.
Yeah, absolutely. She calls these the fragrant freesia blossoms. The peppery scent is said to ward off disease.
I'll sprinkle some on my persons. I've got a top hat, so I'll put some along the brim.
Oh, you're so fancy. And so she turns back over and she looks at Locks one more time, and she's like, well, you ready to head out, rookie? And he turns around and like stubs out his cigarette on the windowsill and let's go. And looks at all of you.
I just whisper, he's so cool.
He is so cool. All right. Whatever. Any other questions for the sword captain before you head out to the quarantine zone?
I like jumping into things feet first.
Perfect. This adventure is going to go very well then.
Oh, yeah.
All right, perfect. Okay, so let me go ahead and all of you can pull up now that first handout that I sent over. This is going to be a map of the quarantine zone. All right, so that should be appearing on screen for everybody listening at home. Okay, let me see here. Or not. I'm not sure why that's not popping up. Give me 1 second here. Okay, cool. So if all of you see that there, you should be able to see all the different areas that we are dealing with. So for those of you at home, since you can't see this, let me go ahead and...
It's a dope map.
Yeah, so one of the best things about Rats of Waterdeep is the incredible handouts that accompany this whole thing. It's just like absolutely stunning, all the amount of detail and attention that went into this. So highly recommend for you folks if you haven't seen it yet, Rats of Waterdeep on the DM's Guild. Okay, and you'll want to keep this zone kind of map up over the course of the adventure here. Okay. All right, and then as you head off to the zone, Lox leads you with precision as he winds his way through the streets of Waterdeep. You can see now that dark storm clouds are starting to roll in up above, so the sun is hidden behind gray, and this drizzle is coming down, and Lox just, pulls up his coat and kind of hunches as he walks down the street. And eventually you come to the docks ward, where this quarantine zone has been set up now. So you see there are City Watch members that are blocking off the entrances to the streets in this section of town. And as you approach, Lox exchanges just some quick words with the guards, and you all are allowed to pass into the docks district. So this is a more seedier part of town. There's a lot of trade that happens here. Right now there aren't a lot of people out on the streets. You see that shutters and doors are closed. Most people have either gone inside, maybe trying to hide from the plague, or whatever folks can do to stave this off. You see, again, a lot of those purple flowers have been nailed up over doorways and like shoved in windowsills as you're making your way through these ghostly streets. And eventually you come to a small apartment building. You see that there are a bunch of doors stacked here. There are boxes outside. It's kind of in like a back alley out of the way. And you have this door in front of you. And Lox is like, well, any of you good at handling this?
Opening doors, Lox. Is that what you're having some trouble with?
Well, I assume it's locked. And he reaches and he like reaches out to the handle and then turns it and it just swings open. He's like, oh.
Bravo. I'm quite impressed with your skills thus far.
Thanks. And as you step inside here, you see that there is a small apartment in front of you. It looks like a living dining room combination. There's a door leading off to one side. But you see that there is a body in the middle of this room with blood splattered all over the place. We opened the door, and the room was red like a hobgoblin caught with his pants down. You don't stay in this line of work without getting to know the smell of blood. There was blood everywhere. That, and the body on the floor. And this case had more murder written on it than the Xanathar's rap sheet. Kind of whispers off into the air.
Can I just ask real quick where we are on the map?
Yes, so you are... let me pull up here. You are... So one of the buildings towards the northwest part of town, up here.
So, like, Cloak Lane area?
Yes, I think you're actually on Dark Lane. Let me go ahead and double check here.
Oh, wait. I don't know east from west. That would be Dark Lane.
Yeah. Okay.
Just like to know where we're starting out.
Yeah. So, yes, the apartment is on Dark Lane. So, yeah, pretty much the northwest tippy point of the map there. All right. So, you see this body there in front of you. Again, blood everywhere. Furniture is tipped over. Looks like there was some kind of struggle, maybe. What would you all like to look at or investigate?
Was this the location that we thought that he was going to meet?
No, so he was going to meet them somewhere outside of the quarantine zone.
Oh, okay.
You have been sent to investigate his home. So this is where he lives. And you found him. Also, the fact that the door was unlocked catches your attention. But yes, now it's a murder mystery. So everyone, what would you like to look at? There are many clues. Maybe you shall learn them.
I'm going to pull out my magnifying glass and investigate the body. How freshly dead is it?
Yes. All right. So go ahead and give me an investigation check. And you have the detective background, right?
Yes.
So go ahead and roll with advantage.
Ooh.
Lucky.
This module favors those who chose the detective background.
Oh, go figure. 19.
Okay. All right. So looking at the body, you can tell that it was killed probably a couple days ago. It smells pretty bad, but it's not like liquefying yet. And you can see that there are like hundreds and hundreds of tiny bites all over the skin that have been like just bleeding out. The eyes are gone. Like something has perhaps eaten them. So that, and other than that, all these little bites, you can't determine a different cause of death. As you're also checking out the body, though, you do manage to find that there is a small piece of paper that has been shoved into the left boot of this corpse. And you see that the piece of paper simply says HH 908.
I'm going to pull the paper up and hold it up to my compatriots. Fellow people who are with me, I would like to show you a clue. Who can deduce what this means? And I'm just going to wave it around pretty willy-nilly.
It's a piece of paper. I can deduce that much.
Excellent. Tell me more.
Note, maybe.
You are on the right path.
What race is this guy that is this body?
A human man.
Human man?
Yeah. And he, by a loose description, appears to be the captain.
Okay.
So he's a older man, maybe in his 60s or so, graying hair with this neat cut beard. He was wearing simple yet nice clothes, but now of all the little puncture marks of something that has bitten him, it's kind of destroyed. So yeah, in the areas of the house, there's that kitchen area. There's this bedroom area, presumably on the other side of the door, and then there is that dining living area. If you wanted to investigate anything in particular.
So we found the body in the dining living area, right? Can I kind of take a look around and see if I can figure out like how many people were involved in the struggle, and or where they might have entered and left from?
Sure. Go ahead and give me a smell check, Shifter. So perception with advantage.
Yeah. Natural 20.
Whoa. Okay.
Nice.
The other one was a 17, so I was like, "Oh, this is pretty good so far."
Jeez. All right. So you can smell. You don't smell other people here. So there wasn't someone here. What you do smell is rats. And a lot of them. It's very clear to you that rats were the things that did this. And then now, as you're kind of looking around the rest of the house, you see that some of the blood actually has like a trail pattern of like little, many tiny feet. It's not just like haphazard smears on the floor that carry out of one of the first floor window and then out. So that was probably the way they came in and out.
First floor window, like front, back, in the kitchen.
On the front. So this is a very kind of dumpy little apartment. Yeah. So there's just the door and then that one window.
Okay.
Yeah. So a trail of rats came in that window and left that window, and the body stinks of them.
Does it look like anybody was looking for something? Because you said things were like overturned and it was messy. Is it chaotic, or can I see if something, like somebody was looking for something and they stopped at the cupboard because the cupboard has what they wanted?
Yeah. So looking around the room, its furniture is only tipped over and destroyed in this front living dining room, as if maybe he knocked it over, like maybe trying to pull rats off of himself or something here. You do take a peek into the back bedroom. Nothing in there looks disturbed.
Okay.
So you would guess maybe not a robbery.
Does he look like he's dressed for travel? Or does it look like he was asleep or something in here?
It looks like he was probably about ready to leave. He has a nice coat on that you would need in the chilly fall air.
So from what I see, it looks like he walked outside and then a bunch of rats came and he backed in here and closed the door. And then the rats came in and he ruined his own house and then he died from rats.
You have excellent skills of deductions. I will commend you.
Thanks. Cool.
However, I insist that there might be something that we're missing. Was there a bedroom?
There is a bedroom. Also,
I want to look for like papers, files, notes, documents, anything incriminating.
Sure. Go ahead and give me an investigation check of the bedroom.
While they're investigating the bedroom, I'm going to investigate the kitchen for food.
Okay. All right.
I go along.
Yeah. So, Humphrey, what did you get on your investigation?
Do I have advantage on investigations always, or just the one time?
It was just
I rolled a 1.
That one specific circumstance. You rolled a 1.
Yeah, it's just the 1.
Okay, so So you're looking around. It's a very Spartan bedroom. There's really not much on the walls or anything. You're like, yeah, there definitely wouldn't be any documents in here.
Aren't you
I didn't use my magnifying glass, is why.
Oh, all right. Halfling luck?
Oh!
You get to reroll?
Oh, you're so right. I never play halfling.
Thank you, JB.
22.
Okay, so you're looking like, no, definitely not. And you're like, you walk out, and then you walk back, and you're like, maybe I should double check. And then you just kind of poke around for a bit, and you see that under the bed, right next to an empty chamber pot, is a rolled up paper. And you can go ahead and pull up handout 2. All right, so as you pull out this piece of paper, it's very clear to you it's some kind of like news sheet that was rolled up there. So it's called Straight Talk from the Docks. And I'll go ahead and read you all that. The main article here, which is titled Death Toll Grows in Dock Ward. The brutal vendetta between the Rat King and the Lady of Plagues claimed more victims last night, as gangsters loyal to both bosses dueled openly in the Dock Ward streets. City Watch officials again blamed their inability to bring the fugitives to justice on the Rat Pox quarantine, which they claim has hampered their ability to attend to crimes across the ward. In an exclusive private interview with this publication, the Xanathar crime boss made the following statement. The underperforming City Watch have really dropped the ball here. I know everything there is to know about crime, but even I can't see how these punks are getting away with it. Do something, City Watch! Is the lead article there. And then there's also another article about this thing called the Temple of Rot that has now started in the quarantine zone that folks are building in hopes of staving off the plague. You also see that there is an ad for Scarlet's Hake, Herring and Cod. There's an ad for Harbor Holdings, and then there is an ad for the Doctor's Ward Apothecary. So that is kind of what you see.
Okay, I'm going to take my news clipping and bring it down to, I believe the kitchen is where everybody seems to be congregating.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and so somebody give me the investigation check for the kitchen. What was it?
I was looking for food.
Okay.
I got a 22.
Okay, so
find all the food.
Y'all are really good at this. So you find that there is an icebox in one corner of the kitchen, and immediately as you open up, just this pungent smell comes to your nose immediately, like it's overwhelming for you. Just the scent of a bunch of different cheeses. There are like 15 different types of cheese just shoved in here, like filling up this icebox. You also see that there is a box of crackers that is sitting on top of this little icebox here.
Are they like, is it pungent because the cheese has gone bad, or there's just a lot of cheese?
There's just a lot of cheese and a lot of different types of cheese. Some of them stinkier than others. So it's a melange of just exotic cheeses.
So take out a chunk and take out another chunk and hand it to Chet.
Mm-hmm.
Then be like, good taste, and start eating it.
And I throw up a little in my mouth. And...
Also, while y'all are kind of standing in the kitchen area, you see that there are a bunch of drawings that have been tacked up to the walls. So these drawings seem to be sketches, maybe done by a child. They look like of the sea captain and a small red-headed girl.
Aww.
Yeah.
She's an orphan now.
Detective Humphrey Harrington, what did you find upstairs?
Yes, so kind of you to ask.
Or
I
did
would
you
like
find
to
Was it
announce.
a kid? Is there a kid in the house anywhere?
I have not located another human. I believe we are alone. We could perhaps ask the individual with the nose, like a really impressive nose. But before we get to that, I'm going to wave the paper around. I have found a paper clipping which announces everything we already knew, but you're welcome to take a look at it, and I'll pass it over to Olister.
And I skim it, and I'm just like, yes, yes. And this is me reading it over here because I have it up on that monitor.
Yes, good paper.
Like, well, the only thing I find interesting here is that I can store some of my family's riches at Harbor Holdings. Perhaps we should go to 118 Copperpenny Alley.
Do you mean Coin Penny Alley?
That's
Copperpenny Alley is not the reputable place to go. They will not save your money. I speak from experience.
They'll just throw it away. It's awful.
Well, we learned something else here, man. Like, this has to be some kind of rat-mancer. Because what rat would pass up this delicious, decadent cheese? Oh, sweet crackers! Crackers too? I have never known a rat to pass up crackers. And they're like I turn and look at the corpse. 8 feet. There's no way a rat wouldn't come over here.
He makes a very compelling point.
Thanks, bro.
I'm gonna stuff some cheese in my pockets.
Yeah,
just a couple handfuls.
There's plenty for you to grab.
Whatever, like, the least soft cheese is. Like, I don't want to have to scrape cheese out of my pants.
Yeah, you can get like a nice hard aged cheddar.
Yeah, like a Gruyere or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, definitely.
I'll take out the brie, soft cheese.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Stick it in the pocket.
Oh, there's definitely brie in there. There's all that good cheese.
Okay.
So there was no sign of struggle. He was there. Somebody wasn't looking for something. That's what I was trying to say. Sorry.
Right.
I'm going over the facts.
Oh, man. You're right.
The only person I smell in here is the dead body. All the rest of it is rats.
Corpse.
And Humphrey Harrington, you found something in his boot?
Yes, this other paper, which I will wave around.
You wave
Which
it so
says-
fast. Could you just tell us what it is?
You think the HH
can't really
might
read
stand
it.
for Harbor Holding?
HH
908 might
908.
be like a room or something.
It could also be a vault. Harbor Holding was a pretty good deduction, Chet.
Vaults. I didn't even think about that. Jeez. Also, I can't see.
Why is it so
All of a sudden
dark?
the room lightens up for you.
And this hat sucks. Thanks to my roommate for letting me borrow it.
That's your hat. Don't lie.
I don't wear hats.
At this point, also, Locke is standing over by that windowsill where the rats apparently came in and out. He's like, looks like there's a trail.
Pardon me, Locke. We're missing a kid. Do you have any idea where this red-headed kid might be?
And he...
Is it even the captain's kid? Could it have been a stowaway?
I don't
Not touching that one.
I don't believe he had a young daughter, but who knows? People are full of secrets.
Right on. Helpful.
Lox, how old are you?
I'm 18 years old.
Oh, me too, bro. What's up?
He looks at you and he kind of narrows his eyes.
I'm 7'2". I'm real fucking big, man.
Class of 1490. Yeah.
Man, go away.
He's like, how long you been in the detective game?
A couple years. Let's follow this trail.
Fine. Yeah, so we have a few different leads here. We have it kind of the module opens itself up there, whichever you would like to follow. We have this little note. We have a trail. We may have other clues. Who knows?
I think currently we have the trail, which is the most compelling. I personally believe it's going to lead us to the Rat King. That's really funny. However, we also have that mystery combination, which I believe also will open a vault with some really delicate information. We can split up. What does the party think?
Real quick, I want to see which way the trail goes, because if it's on the way, you might as well stop at the Harbor Holdings. But
yeah, so just kind of looking out the window, it looks like it continues further down into, let me just double check here.
I'll lean my head straight out the window and be like,
smelling the air. Let me just double check what part of town. I switched from paper to an electric device, and now my whole life is just strange. I can't flip pages. I don't know what's happening. This is just crazy.
An electric device?
It's shining so bright in my eyeballs. Okay. It doesn't seem to...
What did we decide on doing? Where are we going? What are we doing?
I was seeing if the trail leads towards the coin Coin Penny Alley to see if
nice.
It does.
Birds, one stone, right? Yeah.
It does seem to lead that way. So more into the center area. So you would guess that intersection of Cloak Lane and Dark Lane is where it seems to be leading.
Okay, so we can follow the trail and then make a stop at that's my recommendation.
Harbor Holdings it is.
All right. Wonderful.
Unless, do you feel we need to thoroughly investigate this place or more thoroughly investigate this place? I mean, we found a body. Do we need to notify authorities at this point?
We are the authorities.
We are. Yes.
Have we notified?
Right on. A high five.
Yeah, and Locke's like, we won't be allowed to leave, so we better get this done, like the sword captain said.
I know that it's quarantine zone, but we all know vagrants. Come on. Is there anyone on the street at all in this place since we've entered on Dark Lane?
Are you going outside to check?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I figured I would have already kicked the door open and strutted outside like a peacock.
All right. Perfect. And as you go ahead and you strut outside like a peacock, let me read something for you.
Oh, crap.
Oh, no.
Crossbow bolt.
Take an arrow to the knee. You're done.
No,
okay.
My knee.
And here we go. As you step onto the street, you see that figures are now walking down the middle of this street here. You see there's like a big group of folks, and behind them there is a floating thing. We were back on the streets of the Dock Ward with more clues to follow than eyes on the Xanathar. And that's when he floated down the street. The Xanathar, with his goons, shadier than a drow's mood lighting. I counted three thugs. I counted 3 thugs, a mind flayer, and a whole heap of trouble. The mind flayer was carrying a rat with its brain exposed like its hairdresser took a little too much off the top. And the Xanathar, well, let's just say, looks can kill. So you see walking down the street there, this group of thugs, again, a mind flayer that's holding this rat with its exposed brain, and then the Xanathar floating behind. And for those of you who aren't familiar with Waterdeep, the Xanathar is a beholder. He is a notorious crime boss that rules the streets of Waterdeep, or the subterranean streets anyway. And it is extremely alarming that he is just floating around out here. And as Chet, you step out now, and this is coming towards you. The Xanathar gets close with all of his goons behind him. You see there now they're all brandishing like clubs and like 2x4s and just kind of like giving you the meat nasty look. And Xanathar just So the city watch coming out to the docks district, leading an investigation of some kind. What have you found? And this thing, so it's just this big, large, luminous eye staring at all of you with its mouth split into this toothy grin as it waits for you to respond.
We found a couple of leads that might send us up. We found a couple of leads that might send us to Harbor Holdings. Uncle Xanathar, what's up?
Well, I already knew that from looking at your faces.
Because you're very smart and wise, and also very attractive.
Well, this one seemed to know what's going on, and it kind of swings all of its faceted tentacle eyes, towards the rest of you. Thank you for knowing your place. See, this is my town, and these are my people, and they're suffering, and I love my people. There's no one who loves the people as much as me. So the fact that you are here trying to do this job, it's cute. It's real cute. And all the thugs are like, yeah. Looking menacingly at all of you. And the Xanathar goes, who sent you? Who are you working for?
And I step in front of Chet and I'm just like, we don't need to answer your questions. Okay, we're the city watch. We're here doing all this stuff. And we're going to follow our clues. And we're going to come down to the end of this. You just keep walking along your way, Xanathar.
You'll walk.
And Locke's like, oh, God. And then
I take a big step away.
I'm like, Chet, where are you going? Stay right here, buddy. We're in this together.
My dude, sorry.
And
I was hiding behind Chet the whole time. I'm just very tall. I'm just not into it. I need to hide. Yep.
Yeah. And as you say that, Alistar, the Xanathar floats closer to you. Not walking, and it gets right up in your face. So you are just like head to head with this big ol' eye. And it says, "Insolence will not be tolerated in my district. You're treating me very unfairly right now. Unfairly. It's disgusting." And as it does so, like some spit flies out of its mouth. "I have other business to attend to." And it like floats back and it's just staring at you the whole time. And then it turns
whisper under my breath, "A dumb eyeball says what?"
and Xanathar like,
but really, really whisper it.
Melt him.
You hear a pin drop.
There's a mind player.
Xanathar blinks once. And then, "I have other business to attend to. Clean up my streets." And the thugs like begin to run forward now, clearly intending to smash your kneecaps in. And Xanathar and the Mind Flayer just turn and head off down a different alley. But everyone, let's go ahead and roll some initiative.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Thanks, bud. Wow, Chet. He's got the 411. All right, initiative. Humphrey, what did you get?
15.
Humphrey, 15. All right, and Alistar.
21.
21. Eli.
I got a 23.
Whoa. All right, and Chet.
3.
3. Okay. All right, and what did Locke roll? Oh, Locke. Wow, killing it, dude.
The boy, Locke. You're my boy.
You're the boy. Okay. Let me just double check on my. Yes, my note. Xanathar rolls up. What to do? Okay, and they rolled like garbage. All right. So now you see that these 3 thugs are coming at you again. Yeah, 2x4s and just real nasty. All of these dudes are like nasty, either like half orcs or human men, dressed in kind of raggedy clothing that's sort of like black or like just generally menacing. All right, and then oh dear. And Eli, you have the first move here, as these 3 are moving up on you in the streets, and the rest of the street is absolutely empty. Anybody who clearly saw the Xanathar is like not gonna interfere in this whole situation.
Why would they? How far away are we from them?
So you're all pretty close because they were just flanking the Xanathar who was right in your face. So yeah, within 15 feet.
Okay. I'm gonna pull out my 2 short swords and just run straight in.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. So are you gonna go ahead and just attack one of them?
Yep.
All right. Tell me what is specific about this thug that you're attacking here. What makes him different from the other ones?
He's got an eye patch and
nice.
Just
right.
real ugly looking.
Ugly eye patch. All right, give him the what? Okay,
I actually get 3 attacks because of my ranger stuff. So first attack is I gotta find my
combat. Woo!
First attack is 17.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Do you want me to roll all attacks and then do damage, or
however you want to do it?
Second attack is 20.
Woo. Yep.
And third attack is an 11.
Yeah. The 11 will not. Oh nope, the 11 will hit. They will hit.
Oh, okay, cool. So
these are not the most well equipped of thugs.
I get 2 d6s and a d8.
Hooey!
So 5, 10 plus 9, so 19 points of damage.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so that's a lot. So what does Eli look like when he's fighting? Like what's the move?
He kind of like has like a growly look on his face and just looks like old, like he's been there, and like he's just very swift and like calculated about everything. Like this is nothing.
I'm too old for this shit.
Yeah.
I love it. So you go in with your 2 short swords, and Eye Patch Thug clearly was not expecting resistance, and is just alarmed, like, as you're stabbing into him. All right, and then we go ahead and jump to Alistair.
Alistair is going to whistle and point up to the sky, and Stuart, his little fairy familiar,
Wait, can you please
sprite familiar.
Describe Stuart to me, please.
Oh, Stuart is wearing like a nice little like tuxedo with wings that come out the back, and he has fairy dust kind of flying off of him like Tinkerbell.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, I love them.
So I want to like protect him though, so I whistle and I'm like, Stuart, up, and he like flies up probably like 30 feet above them, and they're kind of like fairy dusting a little bit. And then I like fade back to the side. The one that Eli attacked is still up, correct?
Yes, it is.
So I'll fire. Go ahead.
Oh, definitely.
Bleeding,
Yeah.
yes. So I'll fire a hex bolt at him, or not a hex bolt, a eldritch blast.
All right.
Sorry.
Fire it at Eye Patch.
Natural 1.
Oh no! So this thug, Eye Patch, has just like been shocked by being stabbed now. So all of a sudden he's paying attention and just manages to duck as your Eldritch Blast goes flying overhead.
Hits
here.
a barrel.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, a rain barrel explodes like down the street, and water starts pouring out onto the street as this is happening. Meanwhile, the sky is really gray now too, so there's also a light drizzle that's falling down on this mean, bloody scene. Anything else for your turn?
that is it. Thank you.
All right, and then moving to Locke, who will go ahead and he pulls out a short sword and is gonna run towards one of these thugs, and he manages to go ahead and get a stab at. He'll go ahead and also stab at Eye Patch. So you all are kind of encircling him at this point. So, and he gets a good shot in there. All right, and then Humphrey.
What are we? So it's 2 thugs and
3 total.
Xanathar?
3
thugs.
3 thugs. Xanathar and his their mind flare assistant have dipped. Yeah, they're like, we too important. So you just fighting these 3 in the street right now.
Okay. There's a thug of the 3 that looks really vulnerable. They don't quite look like they fit in.
Oh.
Like this might have been their first day on the job,
Yes.
and they're finally realizing like the monumental tasks and just like the violence that they have to commit.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
they are like
rather
pale faced right now, looking at this bleeding companion.
Wide-eyed. Like, I can hear their heart beating from here. I want to try and persuade them to join us.
Yeah, go for it. What are you saying? What does this person look like?
They are a half orc. They're young. Like I said, it's their first day on the job. They've got like long, beautiful hair. It's kind of like flowing in the wind, but like they've got these wide eyes, and they're just like looking around like, what do I do?
Yeah.
So I've zoned in on them.
Definitely. Give me that persuasion check.
9, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15?
Yes. Yeah. So you look at them, and what exactly are you saying?
Friend, you there, right there.
Oh,
not the one
me?
that's attacking, not the one that's being stabbed.
Oh, yeah.
You.
Uh-huh.
You look like you could use a friend. You could use some money.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Yeah. Definitely.
I've got about 5 gold if you want to come hang out with us, solve some mysteries with the City Watch. You know, you won't get the plague. You won't get all those eyes staring at you so often. How does that sound?
Yeah, all the eyes are pretty. It's pretty weird.
You feel naked all the time.
How did
Yeah,
you know? Yeah, constantly. It's so invasive, you know? And I mean, well, you guys, and he looks over at like his bleeding companion who's been stabbed a bunch of times. He's like, yeah, I mean, if you're hiring. Yeah.
Yeah, we've got one opening, just one.
Okay, cool. Hi,
what's your name?
Oh, I'm Brandon. Yeah. Okay, that sounds great. Hey, bye guys. And the other 2 thugs are like, what? And Brandon's like, I gotta go where the money is. And he's gonna turn and fight the other thugs with you. So now you have Brandon.
Okay. Perfect. And I'll use my bonus action just to kind of disengage a little bit, so I'm a little bit farther away from the two remaining thugs.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, since you weren't engaged with them, you can just, like, you talk to Brandon. Brandon's like, cool. And then you take a few steps back, and you're like, nice.
I pulled out a paper. We're signing some contracts right now.
Yeah. Welcome on board, Brandon.
Welcoming package. Here you go.
Oh, yes. You have a new member of your agency.
A fruit basket. Wow.
That's so nice. All right, but then now it is the other two thugs' turn, and they're like, what the hell, Brandon? And then the one that's being attacked right now is going to try and go ahead and retaliate against Eli, who was the first person to slash at him. Ooh, okay. Yeah, that's definitely going to hit a 22. And then he's gonna go and this dude Eye Patch has a 2x4 in his hand, and you see some big old rusty nails sticking out of it, and he's just gonna bring that around and just smack you like right in the shoulder, kind of chest area. So he's gonna go ahead and deal. There's gonna be 7 piercing damage as he just smacks you with this rusty nail 2x4.
I haven't had a tetanus.
Had your tetanus recently.
Oh, and he gets 2 attacks, so he's gonna do it again.
Boo.
Well, okay, 13. Second hit?
Nope.
Okay. So he gets one, like, really good shot in, and you're like, ugh! And then he tries to swing up again, but you were ready for it this time, and it didn't work. And then the other guy is gonna come in and go ahead and attack. Let's see, who else is sitting on him? He'll go in and attack Locke here. Okay. And he is gonna hit him once. And this guy has more of like a traditional club, and he's gonna go and try and like beat on Locke, and you hear him go, "Oh." All right, and then Chet.
So again, Chet is very nearly 7 feet tall, very well muscled. Has these giant horns, which he's currently grabbing, going, "Oh no! Oh my god!
Oh god!"
And he's gonna just kind of walk forward placatively with his hands, kind of flapping. He'll say, "Oh my god, guys! No, this is murder! Oh crap! You two, look, Brandon!" And I'm gonna look at the other two. I'm gonna be like, "Guys, just follow Brandon. You hurt our legs. Oh, you sent a cool message. We're so sorry to the Xanathar. Think about what he would think if you helped clean up the streets and took that initiative. I don't want anybody to die. No, can we just stop killing each other? Locke, quit
it." Locke's like, "What?" All right, go.
Hit with a bat.
Ow. Go ahead and make me a persuasion.
I'm not good at this. I'm very good at this. It's a 21.
Y'all are secretly really good at this.
19 plus 2. Come on, guys.
Okay.
I'm really feeling sick.
Yeah, and so 2x4 with the eye patch who's been wailing on you is just like, I mean, I'll stop if you stop. And he looks at Eli, who's been stabbing him with swords, and he's like holding the 2x4 like,
Eli, quit it.
I mean,
come on, please. Please, we shared cheese together, please.
Yes.
No stronger bond than sharing cheese.
Oh man, the cheese bond is strong.
Okay, so if Eli, you start to lower your stuff, 2x4 will like lower his, and the other guy is looking like, we doing this, and Brandon's like, well, it's been nice knowing you guys, but I think I got a job here. And the other thugs are like, okay, well, like, okay, I guess we'll just say you died or something.
Other guys? My mom's loaded. I can probably get you guys like 5 or 6 gold too.
Oh, and 2x4 is like, for real?
Yeah, man. The more the merrier, as they say.
We're hiring?
Everyone's turning into rats. Do we really want to hit each other with sticks?
No.
Yeah, the rat thing is freaky, man.
Oh. A rat minotaur?
No.
Minotaur, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I do know what you mean, Eye Patch says, and is like, yeah. Okay, let's do this. Right. Yeah, why are we fighting? This hurts, man. He's like bleeding.
Eli looks just super confused because he never thought non-violence was an option. Like, I don't know what to do.
Eli really stabbed you. Holy crap.
Multiple stabs. Like, wow.
That was fast. That escalated so quick.
I mean, I just tried to get that rain barrel out of the way for you guys. I was just moving it off.
No, yeah, that's totally fair. You know what? Yeah, okay. Well, I'm gonna clean up. Take my friend here, and 2x4 is like bleeding. Like, yeah. We're gonna clean up, and where should we meet you guys later? Like, this sounds like a great deal.
I literally give them my address.
Okay. Yeah.
Just head back there.
Okay.
I'll send like a crier or whatever. You guys help yourselves. There's some like really cool chips in there. You guys just
nice.
go nuts. It's cool.
All right.
There's like 5 other dudes in there. It's fine.
Well, I guess, hey, Brandon, we're back on the same side. You want to just go crash? Brandon's like, yeah. All right.
Well, I mean, technically, you might need to stand here with the corpse because we're in a quarantine zone.
Oh, I mean, we work for the Xanathar. We can get out of here anytime we want.
Oh, hell yeah, man. That's awesome. I give him a high five.
Oh, yeah, they all high five you. They're like stoked.
Do you want to let us know, like, any secret exits by chance?
That's so smart.
I mean, if you want to get out, the sewers probably take you out.
Oh, that is so gross.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Thank you, Brandon.
super gross. This is great. You guys are really cool. You know what? You're really cool.
Thanks, man.
What a great day.
The best combat I've ever experienced. I think my D&D career happened right now.
And so the three of the 2 guys will help 2x4 and kind of take them under each arm, and they'll limp off towards your house. Jet.
Yeah, man.
You got a crew.
See you later, Brandon. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye,
See you later,
third
guys.
wheel.
Good luck. Third wheel, love it.
I turned back to my companions. That was pretty close, right? We almost killed those guys on accident.
On accident.
Yeah, man. Whoa.
So just sometimes my blood really boils, and I just get going.
Man, I gesture to me being a Minotaur. I get it, you know. Whoa.
You guys do things
just want to
Waterdeep much different than in the Feywild. I'll just say that.
Just leave it at that. So you have successfully solved this combat puzzle.
Yay!
So at this point, yeah, like magic, the Xanathar and the Mind Flayer and the Mind Flayer's little weird rat friend are totally gone from view, and these thugs now have headed off, leaving you once again alone in the streets of Waterdeep as a steady rain has now begun to fall.
Crap. This is going to be real bad for following a trail.
Well, hopefully it all just goes back to HH 908.
Yeah, so
I'm sure with all the blood vomit, we would have lost the trail eventually anyway, but...
So we want to keep on... the plan was to go ahead and swing by HH before
Harbor Holdings.
Harbor Holdings.
I would love to, if my companions are up for that. If we would rather track the trail before it gets washed away, we can also do that.
I think now that it is raining, we should probably follow that trail before we lose it, because Harbor Holdings will always be there.
Well,
that's what you
maybe.
think.
That's what we think. That's true.
This is D&D, Jordan. Anything can happen.
I'm mostly great with people, but I can also track fairly well. I am sure my friend Eli is also more than capable.
I mean, we can just see general direction of where it goes and then maybe go back, but...
Agreed. And if I had to put a number to it, I'd say that I could track 5 well.
Oh,
I also can track 5 well.
Oh, we are so similar in so many ways. And then we follow the trail.
Phenomenal. All right, so as you follow the trail through the winding streets of the Docks Ward, you see that there is a group of people who have congregated at this intersection here. And as you're looking around, actually, I need all of you to go ahead and make me Constitution saving throws.
Oh dear.
That's much better than I thought it was going to do. 15.
Okay.
22.
A natural 20.
Okay.
6.
Nice.
Nice.
All right, JB, go ahead and roll me a D6, please.
I didn't even bring my umbrella. I lied. That was a 7, but I don't think that changes anything. 2 on the D6.
Okay. All right. So, Chet, as you've been spending time in this area, your face has gotten really just scratchy. Like you've started to really notice it more and more over the past few minutes in particular.
Pull out a brush.
Mm-hmm.
Moisturize.
Yeah, and you feel like your nose is just really itchy. You have started to contract a symptom here. You have begun to sprout whiskers, and your snout is starting to turn into a very pointy, pink-tipped little nose as you are starting to develop a rat snout.
Guys,
Chet,
I
you're
am
looking
100% invested in fixing this rat problem.
Are you feeling okay,
tell
Chet?
why.
No. I feel as though I have the nose and whiskers of a rat. And my teeth hurt a little bit, and I really, my stomach's growling, probably from the cheese. But I am not feeling great, and I would love to get this sorted out before at least next week.
I mean, yeah, Brandon and Eye Patch and Third Wheel, they're not even going to recognize you if you start turning into a rat.
Yeah, man. How am I going to walk like this? Oh, my God.
Yep.
I kick the ground.
Yep. So this has started happening to you over the course of time. And as you get towards this center area, you see that there are a ton of people milling about, and all of them seem to have symptoms that were loosely described to you, or something that, Chet, you're also experiencing. You see people that have mottled patches of fur that have started to grow in at their skin, people who have very definitive pointy rat noses, people who are hiding tails. All these people are congregating now around this figure that has been built in the center of this place.
Some kind of effigy?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The streets and Locke begins to speak again. The streets were filled with victims of the rat pox, coughing blood onto the posies they had held to their noses. As we explored deeper in that stone maze, they picked up ratty features, beady eyes, fur, even tails. Finally, we found their temple. It was made from discarded bottles and crumpled trash stuck together by mud. A towering statue of a weirdo wearing a beaked mask. The sick and the poor were huddled around it, twitching with fur and whiskers. So you see that the people here have erected this shrine, made out of just trash and refuse, and towering above is that central figure who has a plague doctor mask, so those long, that beaked nose with that stark white mask, and people are just, muling and reaching up towards the statue and talking to each other, and all of them seem panicked and desperate. So you see this crowd of people, and the trail definitely moves towards this area.
Do I recognize anybody in the crowd? I'm a Waterdeep native. I skulk in alleys.
Same.
Sure, go ahead and give me a percentage roll. 2d10s.
2 d10s?
Yeah.
Gonna make me pull it. I'll just roll it twice.
Yeah. One's the 10s, one's the 1.
4, 5, 45.
Okay. 45%. So looking around the crowd, just generally, you don't see any faces that you recognize off the cuff. Maybe it's just because the faces have changed, or there's no one that you're scanning the crowd. No one that seems to catch your attention.
Okay. I'm thinking we should talk to these people. They might have some rather important information. But, Chet, you seem more like their type. You want to go make friends.
I didn't know I'd be right about the blood vomit. Oh my God. That was a guess, like worst case scenario style. Oh, I guess I can talk to him. That's fine. People! Everybody.
Yeah, and they're all like mulling around, and some people are, are really like busy in their prayers or ablutions or whatever they're doing here. But some people do turn and like look towards you, and they see all of you like armed adventurer party, and they're like,
my fellow afflicted. Hello. How goes the Lady of Plagues?
Like a tiefling woman kind of looks at you. It's like, fine. We're trying to placate her or something, anything to make this stop.
I feel you 100%, my dude.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll get in here. We're all trying to pray and getting ready for the march, and we're just hoping the Lady of Plagues will take mercy on us and lift this horrible whatever this is.
Oh yeah, you guys are getting ready for a prayer parade, aren't you?
Prayer
parade.
Yeah.
Oh man.
We're hoping that if we assemble and she'll hear our cries and take pity on us.
Do you happen to know where she physically is, or are you just more of an emotional investment with her?
Well, nobody really knows who she is. I mean, she was just sighted when all of this started.
I've got like my arm draped across her shoulders, walking towards the effigy. Kind of thing.
Oh no, and she's happier. Like now that you're like totally on board, she's like starting to like open up and be like, "Oh yeah, you're helping, good." And she's whispering. She's like, "Well, they say the Lady of the Plagues and the Rat King are feuding
at odds." Yeah.
That's what started all of this.
Yeah.
But don't say his name too loud. It makes people very upset.
Who, the Rat King?
And everybody around, they're like, shh, do not anger.
Oh, I'm so
Do not
sorry.
anger the Lady of Plagues as they turn towards you.
My Lady of Plagues.
And I'll get down on my like wobbly knees, because like my big bulky body in front of the effigy.
Please have mercy upon a Minotaur. See, I'm doing it too.
Yeah.
And then we cut back to my companions, because I'm just going to be here praying for a while.
So you see now that Chet is
I'm
subsumed by the masses there. So what are the rest of you doing?
Is the Lady of Plagues like a well-known like person or god, or?
Go ahead and give me a history check. See what you know.
That's a 10.
Okay, I believe a 10 is enough. Let me just double check here. Okay, so you have heard, 10 is good. You have heard, according to legend, each large city in the north has its, wait, no, that's not that.
Not that.
Okay, you're like, Lady of Plagues. That's weird. Nope, not a god. Not like that's
didn't have
not
one of those where I came from.
Nope, that's. You're like, that's weird. Sounds pretty metal.
Eli, you've never heard of the Lady of Plagues? Where are you from?
Are you trying to roll for it?
The Underdark.
Rolling religion to find this?
A history check.
History.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I got a 1.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm just posturing, like.
Yeah, you don't know. You don't know.
I'm a halfling.
Oh,
who am I? What am I?
Try again. Thank you, JB, for being resident halfling reminder.
Seriously, thank you. I can never play halfling again. Like, I can't keep up.
Okay, so the 18. You have definitely never heard of a Lady of Plagues. Like, that's not a particular phenomenon, but you do know that there are some druids that worship plagues or belong to something called a Circle of Plagues. And they are, these feared, very strange nature magicians that just enjoy plagues and disease and that sort of. You've heard of that before. That's the only thing that really rings a bell for you in particular.
Okay, I'm gonna try to express that. You know, Lady of Plagues, like Plague Lake. They come on ships and plagues like that.
Yes.
Eli, that makes sense.
Plague a lot, but okay,
yep,
I think I get it.
That's how you talk about a thing.
Yep, that's how you explain the thing, by saying the thing a bunch of times.
Repeating it. Yeah. I think we've lost Chet. You know, they've become one.
Fine. He's and he's just like, or what are you doing, Chet? Like,
what is
over,
Chet?
You're bowing in front of the effigy.
Just bowing and stuff.
Oh, you're muted.
Yeah, I was trying the spacebar thing and it's dumb. I hate it. I would imagine that at this point, Chet's like taking some of the flowers that he has and is like spreading them out. And may the lady be with you, kind traveler. Pat, pat, pat. And will the lady shine upon you? Pat, pat, pat.
That's wow. Chet's the best.
And then I'm like, I haven't used a single one of these flowers for myself. Give it to someone else. Pat, pat, pat.
This is why you're here.
And Chet, as you are handing out these flowers, all of a sudden, from the midst of the crowd, you hear somebody scream. And as this happens, you see that there's a flurry of movement from somewhere in the crowd, and other people start screaming, and then like pushing each other. And then you begin to hear squeaking sounds, and people just start complete panic as people just start like mob mentality starting to push each other around, and you begin to see these gray shapes that seem to be popping out of like sewer grates and these vents down below as you see rats begin to move through the crowd here, and people just go insane, and you start hearing the Rat King is angry, it's angry with us, and people screaming, pushing, mobbing. Chet, what are you doing as all the people around you just start panicking?
Would you like the thing the player wants to do, or the thing I imagine Chet would do?
Whatever. What is Chet doing? Yes.
Okay, sure. So you've noticed Chet. He wears a set of velvet slippers over his hooves that muffle his tap, 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 tap. Right? They're ornate, and they look like they were hand woven by somebody, kind of thing. But they allow him to jump very high. 37 feet without a check. If I move 10 feet first.
Wow.
So I jump on top of the effigy. I go, oh!
Oh! Isn't it made out of garbage, though?
It is definitely made of garbage. All right. Please, Chet. JB, narrate to me what happens as Chet jumps 37 feet in the air and lands on the statue, and it falls apart, and you please, go.
So he leaps up, and he lands on top of this effigy. In the leap, like, the water comes off of him real slow and anime style and gleams in the little bit of light that's around. And when he lands, it's pretty solid. And then it starts to crumble at the bottom, outward, like sand almost. And he goes, no! And falls into the garbage. And then the garbage collapses inward and then sprays outward all over the floor.
Yeah, and as this happens...
And it's covered in rats.
Yeah, yep, and as this happens, people start sobbing and screaming, the lady is displeased, and the rats are coming. And so as this all happens, most people manage to, like, push past you all and shove away, but now you do see that they're in this open space here. There are these two, like, pools of rats that are just swarming all over the place, and one of them is definitely, like, starting to surround Chet. And then you see also on the other side of like the statue plaza, there's a halfling man that like fell or was like pushed down in the middle of this trample. And you see another ring of rats now is starting to surround this halfling. They're just this innocent bystander, and he is screaming bloody murder as these rats are surrounding him. So everybody, let's go ahead and roll some initiative and see what happens.
Can't convince rats to be friends with me.
All right, Humphrey.
10.
Okay. Alistar.
9.
Okay. Eli.
23.
Wow. Okay.
I have a +6 to my initiative. So.
Woo! Okay, and Chet.
1.
Killing it, Chet.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, bro. Okay, Eli, again, you have the first move as you see the scene of chaos around you. And the streets, it's just
Eli, rats!
echoing, screaming. Like, you cannot hear Chet over all the people just panicking.
So do I see the halfling? Because Chet's a big guy. I feel like he can take care of himself, even though I'm wildly probably overestimating him.
Yeah. You can definitely see. So now, because everybody has cleared the area, the halfling, he was trying to like drag himself out of there. You can see him, and you can see Chet like getting surrounded.
No, about how far away is the halfling guy from me?
Maybe 30 feet.
Okay. I have an extra 10 feet of movement for my first turn because I'm a cool ranger.
Heck yeah.
Check out the Gloomstalker Ranger has some pretty sweet stuff. All I'm saying. And so I'm just gonna take the disengage action and try to grab the halfling and run if possible. I don't know if you'll allow that.
Yeah, so the rats right now are kind of surrounding him there. So why don't you go ahead and if you want to like clear the rats or something just to get him, give me like an athletics or an acrobatics or something to kind of get in the middle of that.
I'll go acrobatics.
All right.
That's a 17.
Okay. What kind of sweet move are you pulling to get over all these
rats? Run, and then like do like a front flip and like land and pick him up and then just try to run through it again. He just wants to look as cool as possible while looking as like disaffected with everything that's happening as possible.
Definitely.
As well.
Yeah. So as you do a sweet flip over there into the center here, and this halfling is looking up at you. He's like, "Oh, thank God, please." And you can easily scoop him up. He's like, "Sweet flip."
Thank you. Try to move as far away as I can, so I get 70 feet of movement on this round.
Sure. Yeah, so the rats are confused by everything that's happening here. So you're just, and you pick up this halfling and, like, jump back over these rats there. And they're all, like, swarming again, and you see them all kind of moving in this big pattern, all of their beady eyes focused on you as you move away from them.
Yeah. I'll just hold on to the halfling guy because that's all I can do for this round.
Oh yeah, and he's looking up at you with adoration. What do you look like? What does your face look like as a shifter?
So he's got like these huge like mutton chops, and it's like brown and gray, and like he's got 2 different colored eyes. So one's green, one's blue, and he's just like tan skin. Looks like real like kind of rough and tumble. Like, looks like he's seen some shit, but he's 6 feet tall as well, so he's a pretty tall guy.
Yeah, the halfling is just staring up at you like, what are you, magnificent beast that just saved me? It's very Beauty and the Beast right now. Anyway, but this swarm of rats now is gonna coalesce and start to move after you since now you've taken their snack. So... All right, I'm going to go ahead and super guess that a 7 is not going to hit you. So one swarm does not manage to hit you, but there's another one.
Okay.
Right there. Nope. So you just, like, jump up on a pillar or something. The rats are like, like, trying to get at you, and it's just not working. But Chet, you are down here, so you have 2 swarms on you as well. Ooh, a 20, my dude. All right, so you begin to feel... rats just swarming all over your fallen body now, like flicking through the trash, and you just feel these tiny little piercing sensations from all over as these rats begin to engulf your body. So that's going to be 7 piercing damage. Oh, and a 19 gonna hit you. So the second swarm also gets in there. That's going to be an additional 5 piercing damage. You are
I have AC 11. You're fine.
You are completely encased in rats.
Eli is re-examining his judgment of Chet.
Yeah, but the halfling is reaching up a little hand to like kind of caress your mutton chop. Just a little bit on one side.
Protecting me from other rats.
And Humphrey, we're up to you.
Ooh, I've got a handful of ideas.
We like ideas here, yes?
Oh, yes. I have a little bit of rope, about 60 feet of rope.
Mm-hmm.
I want to secure one end to a object, something heavy, like a pole.
Like a light post or something?
Light post, ideally.
Yeah, definitely.
I want to move up somewhere high, but near where Chet is, so I can toss the rope into where they are, ideally, so they can pull it out.
Mm-hmm. Okay, definitely, yes.
And then, is that okay? Yeah. Do you need me to give you a roll to throw some rope?
You're throwing a rope inside the garbage donut full of rats eating me alive?
Yeah, go ahead and make like a...
I'm just painting a picture.
Like a... Maybe an athletics or an acrobatics.
Sure. Let's go acrobatics, because like I might maybe like I flipped a little bit while tossing the rope.
Cool.
Yeah.
Pulling out your circus tricks.
19.
Okay. Yeah. Chet, you feel a rope smack you in the face in the middle of all of this chaos here. All right.
Get his horn.
Yeah.
With my bonus action, I'm also gonna use help.
Okay.
Nice. I'm gonna help Chet. I'm kind of continuing this thread.
Yeah.
So the only way I can personally think of a way to distract the enemy is I'm also gonna start sprinkling. I've got 2 pockets full of cheese. I'm gonna start sprinkling 1 pocket full of cheese just in the opposite direction of Chet.
I love this. All right. So you're like secure a rope, throw it out to Chet, and then you're like, get it, and like throw some cheese.
Pocket cheese. Yeah. So you have advantage if you're on your attack roll now, Chet.
You are helped, Chet. There's so much help coming at you. I love Humphrey's solution solving. And then and then where are you, Humphrey? Are you standing by the light post or?
I'm gonna maintain my position by the light post.
Okay. All right. So you got that. All right, and then Alistar, we're up to you.
Stuart's on my shoulder, looking adorable, and I'm like, Stuart, I think we need you to sing ballad number 4 in E minor. And he like looks at me like slyly, and he's like, yeah, and he nods, and he zips over to the other 2 sections of rats that we pulled the halfling from, and he starts singing, and I cast sleep on those rats.
Yes, I love this.
So I rolled 5d8, and that's 11, 17, 25, 27 hit points worth of sleep.
Yeah, you can take a whole swarm. Sleepy boys. What is this? How is this working?
He's just singing, like, really, and I'm even getting a little, and I gotta like shake myself awake. I'm like, no, it's really good, but you gotta focus and like stop myself a little bit. And you see like the magical energies kind of coming out of his musical mouth as he's just singing. He's got a cute little Stuart voice.
Is he like a little soprano or like a little alto? Like,
wouldn't that be funny when he talks? He's just like, hello everybody.
Hey baby.
Hey. Time to go to beddy, bye.
Oh dear.
Oh yes, I love it. And as your sprite is just singing, you see these rats that were just so furious just a moment ago just start to like blink their little rat eyes, like roll their heads around, and you see a bunch of them just kind of lean over, start going toes up in the middle of the street. They're all cuddling up in these piles.
Aww.
And yeah, you just down a whole swarm of these guys. So there's like 100 rats now that are just like sleeping in a big pile.
Now I just imagine that there's like sweet music coming towards me and this halfling who I'm like cradling in my arms who's like petting my face.
It's a very magical moment. Fell in love in a hopeless place. I don't know. Yep. So Swarm is definitely asleep. Anything else for your turn, Alistar?
Nope, just a high five to Stuart.
Yes. Stuart's my favorite. Okay, and then don't tell the other PCs. Okay. Chet, we are up to you. So you've been helped. Some of the rats are distracted now by flying cheese that's happening in the air here.
So the camera kind of zooms in on Chet's face, and then everything goes black and white and pauses. And he says, hey, this is Chet. You might be wondering how I got here. Inside this donut of garbage covered in rats eating my flesh. I'm not really sure myself. Anyway, and then it cuts back to normal speed.
Yes.
The big question on my mind and on Chet's mind is, do we know what people who turn into rats look like?
You do not.
So I look at all of these rats and I think, these are me in just a few short hours. And I know Eli's killing them.
Nobody.
Technically, no rats have been.
That's why it's going to be great when I get out of here, right? And then, snake! This rope hits me.
Yeah.
Like, no, snake! And I grab it. And I realize that I've like this huge, incredibly muscular individual, but then I still pull on this little rope to try and help me out of the garbage. So I will use my cunning action to disengage.
Nice.
And then I will scamper up the side of this garbage heap.
Yep.
With the help of the rope, screaming, "Don't kill the rats! Don't kill the rats!" Off in the distance as I am.
Yep. So you all can hear
cheese.
Yeah,
like,
there's cheese flying.
The
yeah, you're climbing out of this trash pile. The rats are confused. Everybody's confused. There's rain falling. People are screaming. This is just such a chaotic scene as this is all happening. But you managed to crawl your way out of this situation. All right.
Right. I still have the action.
Yes.
Is anyone around? Are there any like pedestrians in this area anymore? They all scattered successfully.
They all scattered successfully. The only one who didn't was this halfling, but is now being lovingly cradled in Eli's arms.
So I will use my action to dash, and then I will dash the 60 feet over to Humphrey because it has to be within the length of the rope.
Yes.
And I'll be like, I got bit by rats. And I'm like pulling a rat out of my leather armor and letting it down gently.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, Mrs. Baker. Drop it.
Keep that rat. We want to take a rat hostage. That's how detective
grab a rat.
Hostages. Yeah.
Pull it like out of my
rat samples.
Like, they're people. Eli, don't care. And then I see you caressing this halfling. Oh, so sweet. Blood leaking off of my face.
Yeah, from all the bites.
Soylent rats are people.
We have to get the hell out of here, Humphrey. We gotta move.
Yeah, so now you all have successfully, like, pulled away from all these rats we're swiping up. So we can keep the combat going, or if you all want to duck out, you've definitely...
I think we're ducking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Taking a non-violent approach to this.
Yeah. So
Eli's just really confused about everything.
Poor Eli.
Yeah.
Want to kill and smash, but
so used to things just being violent.
We're changing your life one day at a time, Eli.
Oh my god. So as you all kind of step away and reassemble, you see that the rats now, some of them, they begin to like sleepy wake up, or the other rats are like looking at these rats and like, oh, and there seems to be some kind of conferment amongst the rats that they've done whatever they came here to do. And you see they begin to like start ducking back down into sewer grates and like into these little sidewalk areas as the rats now have dispersed, but the people all around have definitely gone, and now the statue in the center is just absolutely destroyed. And Eli, this halfling in your arms, is like, thank you so much for saving my life. I thought I was a goner.
Not a problem. He just like awkwardly sets him down on the ground.
And he sticks out his hand. He's like, the name's Wash.
Eli.
And all of your companions. What are you all doing here in the quarantine zone? I thought it was just all of us locals who got trapped in here.
I look at everybody else.
We're on City Watch duty. Pretty impressive stuff. My name's Humphrey Harrington. You can remember the name. I'm a local detective here to solve all the mysteries.
Oh, it's very nice to meet you, Humphrey Harrington. Wash! And he'll go around and make sure to shake everybody's hand.
Good firm handshake.
Well...
I throw up blood.
Oh my god! Oh, wow, it looks like the plague has got you too. And Wash will like hold up his tail and kind of drop it. Yeah, well, if you all are here with the watch, well, perhaps I can be of some assistance. You see, I'm a sewage worker, and I think I know where you can find this rat king that's causing a lot of this trouble.
That would be fantastic. Let me just confer with my crew a moment. Locke, you get in here too.
Oh, absolutely. I'll just wait.
Just
over here, I guess.
We're just gonna talk without you.
And if you could face away from us, just
sure.
Yeah.
No, sure thing.
I tell if he's on the level. So.
Go ahead and make an insight check.
All right, so I rolled a 2, so that's a 15.
Okay. Yeah, he seems like a real
rogues, man.
Yeah, he seems like a real, genuine, blue-collar folk who's just looking to help.
I trust him with my life, and we should go unerringly wherever he takes us.
Maybe we should.
Also, I am bleeding.
I take some of those petals, the flowers that we had.
Yes.
And it looks like I might be handing it to Chet, and then I just start rubbing it all over my neck.
Yeah, you gotta get it in there good. Like, get it in the mouth area.
How hurt does Chet look?
I would say about 12 points, so not a whole lot. I just need like a break between now and confront the Rat King. That's kind of where I was going.
Maybe we can...
Anyway, yeah. So you and Wash, huh?
Things getting serious?
Me and Wash what?
We saw the way they caressed your face. Pretty romantic, if you ask me.
You know, when you save a person, they just, I don't know, it happens to me a lot.
That is great. I was a little afraid when we first met and you started hacking people apart that you were some kind of murderer. But knowing you save people, that's fantastic.
Reliable heartbreaker.
Save some people, hurt some people. You know, it's all a day's work, pretty much.
Like, I feel like I can trust you guys. I've never been in a fight, and this has all been so much for me.
Pretty obvious.
Yeah,
You did
man.
a great job. I mean, I'm just really proud of you.
We are all proud of you.
Bro.
I would hug you, but you're quite infected. So.
Oh no, yeah. I am literally infected with the plague. You should stay more than
and Wash is also just standing out there in the rain about 10 feet away from all of you, like,
I'm so sorry.
How's it going?
Face away, Wash. I said face away.
Sorry. And he does. He looks like at the trash pile.
Why did we tell Wash to look the other way and stand next to the gutter?
I don't like him staring at me. He just has a weird, I don't know.
It's the tail.
It's the tail. Start something interesting and lasting. He needs to have a good relationship with Eli's friends.
So he can lead us to the Rat King. Do we think that's going to solve this thing, or should we go to HH first?
I think we need to check out HH first.
But I also want to hold on to Wash. If we can just like let them follow along with us, they can be an important asset.
I can
behind.
I can watch over Mr. Wash on our trip, since I too am turning into a rat.
I think that's fair.
You know, my ears are burning over here.
Oh yeah, are they changing too? That we will stay a good 20 feet back.
The colloquial is
figure of speech. Yeah.
Oh no, I was just jacking your dick, bro. It's cool. Hey, Wash.
I'm sorry. What?
Yeah, you know how it is. Let's go.
I don't like it.
Let's go to Harold's Holdings real fast, man. Come on.
Me too?
Well, yes, Wash, we want you to come along, but before we leave, tell us about this Rat King. What is it? Where is it?
Oh, so she's got this lair down in the sewers oh yeah, it's a woman. Yeah, crazy, right?
Good for her.
Yeah, so, and at first we didn't think anything of it, but there's this one section of the sewer where there's just always rats, just everywhere. And you know what? I all of this started up, and then all of a sudden these rats are just attacking us with this plague, and it all just seems very strange. So the Rat King must have something to do with us turning all into rats, right?
Right.
Do you know what the Rat King looks like?
She's well, I've only seen her like briefly, but I think she's human. She's got like bright red hair, like bright red.
That's what I thought.
That's
what I thought.
Yeah, I don't know. She wears a lot of black. I really didn't get a great look at her, to be quite honest.
Do you know if she owns a plague doctor mask?
Oh, I didn't see her with one.
Okay, cool.
I mean, you know, it's so strange because the Rat King used to be like this kind of folk hero, right? And I don't really understand why they would just start hurting people all of a sudden.
Me neither.
Well, whenever you're ready to go, I think I can lead you to her lair. But if you got to take care of some other stuff, yeah, I'd love to stick with you guys.
I will protect you to the best of my ability, which is not much.
We just have to investigate one thing. Chet will keep most of his eye on you. We'll hope for the best in that regard. They are quite the detective.
Oh, well, great. I mean, if you guys can solve this, that'd be great. I'd prefer not to be a rat for the rest of my life.
Same.
Yeah, right. So I definitely can trust you guys because you are personally invested.
100%. On the low, I will offer Wash a ride on my shoulders because I'm such a huge beast of burden already, and I know that he's been walking around in the rain and all that good stuff. So
thanks, buddy. I am really tired.
Hey man, I'll help up. It's cool.
Sweet. And he'll
You can hold on to the horns. Yeah, it's
fine. You feel every once in a while his tail like thumps against your back.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to yeah.
Can I look at Chet and see if he has any weapons on him at all?
I do, including my 3.5-foot horns.
Cool.
Yeah. So, do we want to go ahead and investigate? Blah blah blah.
Holdings.
Yeah, the holdings.
Okay. Let me just pull up that page. 1 minute.
Harbor
Holdings. And Locke has been just surveying this scene quietly this whole time, seeming to think. Look, he looks off a lot into the distance. You're not sure what he's looking at. But he pops his collar and shuffles along after you as you make your way towards Harbor Holdings. And you see that this is a very quaint, family-run, small... Thank you, Tales from the Fandom. Just a small, very quaint-looking bank. As you walk up there, you see Harbor Holdings has been painted in bright, friendly, gold letters. There are little flower boxes that are well-maintained on the outside of this place. And then as you walk inside, finally you're out of the rain, and you realize now you've become soaked, and you're all pretty miserable. You know, your socks are all a little bit wet, which just makes the day just that much worse.
Ugh, yeah.
I would like to prestidigitation myself back to fancy.
Yeah, as you step inside. And then Locke begins whispering. Harbor Holdings was a slice of sunshine in a dreary neighborhood. Its face sported a fresh splash of pink paint, though it seemed like someone had colored outside the lines and missed most of the building. It reminded me of something the Mara once said. The cheaper the joint, the louder the decoration. He whispers as you step inside of this.
I'll just side eye him, okay, Lux.
So cool.
He seems completely unaware that anyone can hear him.
Yeah.
At any point. And so as you step inside, you see that there are two really overstuffed couches, on either side of this lobby in this kind of pea soup green color. There are a bunch of potted plants that have haphazardly been shoved into corners. There's an iron doorway quite opposite from where you are, there's a small counter with a window, and you see that there is an older gnomish woman who is sitting there on the other side of the counter, like in this teller window, and she seems to be flipping through a book here. And then guarding either side of the gate, there are two identical gnomes that are dressed in very shabby, bright pink and like gold sort of uniforms that kind of match the outside of this building. And they are taking themselves extremely seriously as they stand there.
Once we get inside, Eli will just shake his whole body off, like just spraying water everywhere.
Oh no.
You get a little bit poofy. And then one of the gnomes who's guarding the gate watches you and like narrows his eyes as like water sprays over these gross couches.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of important. Chet and Wash don't go in because we don't want to get anybody plagued.
Oh,
So
I'll find a dry spot to stand so me and Wash don't get rained on, but I don't think we should go inside with people that aren't infected.
all right. And as you
do
stand,
you know that nobody's infected inside? Or are we assuming?
I have to assume, otherwise they might be infected.
Okay. Go ahead, Celeste.
yeah. So Chet, you find like an awning, something that you can stand down there, and Wash is like, "Do you smoke?"
Don't tell my mom, but I have before. Pass it, little man.
All right.
Oh, my mom. She's so disappointed in you.
Yeah. How dare you, Chet? Yeah, and he'll pass over, like he'll pack his pipe and then hand it to you, and you can smoke a lovely pipe as the rain drizzles on. All right, and then inside, so you have one of these gnome guards now looking at you, Eli, since you've just shed water all over the place here. And this woman, the older woman, is just happily writing away in a book.
Hello, ma'am.
Oh! Hello there. Sorry, I didn't see you. And as she looks at you, you see she's got these very, very thick glasses that just like an inch thick.
Oh,
just
dear.
as she's looking at you and just and she's still starting to like, hi, hello, welcome to Harbor Holdings. How can I help you?
Hello, ma'am. I'm going to be on my tippy toes. I've got my top hat giving me some extra height.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've got, I want to look into a vault number HH 908.
Oh, 908. Okay, of course. And she flips through her paper and she's... It takes her a minute as she scrolls down, just staring at this. And then she... Oh, Captain Brisby! It's been so long since we've had you in. And what's... And she squints her... Oh, what lovely friends you've brought!
Thank you. They're part of the crew. You know, Captain Shipwater stuff. That's how it works.
Oh, I'm sure. Oh, you must have a million stories. Well, how... you said you would like to open your box today?
Yes, please.
Oh, wonderful. Just give me one moment. Boys. And one of them turns over and he like unlocks the gate real quick and then comes around and you see he helps his mother like get down off of the stool and she comes around to the front. All right, well, come with me. Right this way.
Follow along.
Yeah, and the two gnomish guards are her sons. They bear a very similar resemblance, are looking at you all very suspiciously. So they
Cannot imagine why.
Yeah, they seem to be like thinking, they're like, is that can
I give a very convincing "arr" as I walk by them.
We're sailors.
Yeah,
Arr.
and one of them crosses his arm and goes, huh. As and the woman like continues to lead you back on, and the whole way she's like, oh, I just hear what's happening out on the streets. It's just awful. Oh, I wanted to go see my niece the other day, and I couldn't get out of here, so now I'm staying inside. And she's walking very slowly down this long row, this hallway.
It's a good thing I have short feet as well.
Yep. You see,
Short legs.
You see that there are like lockers lining these. So these are, you know, people's personal boxes. And eventually, 908, all right, okay. So here we are, and of course we just have to answer. Here's your security form. So if you could just, of course, answer these for me. Standard policy.
Yep, absolutely.
Let's go ahead and pull up handout.
Oh no.
Number
What number?
5. The harbor holding security check form. All right. So, on this form, and I'm so sorry, folks. I'm not sure why that's not showing up on here. Super bummer. Next time, I promise I will figure this out and have this up for you. But the first question here, number 1, security hint, her favorite meal. And then you see that there are 3 lines in front of you there, and they have a bunch of empty dashes, as if you have to fill in the blanks for these. So the first one here, it starts with a C is filled in, and then blank, 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 S, and another blank.
I think that's cheese.
Cheese?
That's a good idea.
Oh.
I'm bad at these.
Mm-hmm.
I think the second one is crackers.
Crackers? I'm gonna write that out.
Mm-hmm. And she's just like kind of, you know, peacefully nodding. But you see that the two gnomish boys are like staring at you as you're just looking for like any sign of hesitation.
I'm waiting for like Eli to keep whispering the answers to me. What's the last one?
And so the last one for the folks at home, it starts with a G, and then blank blank has a P, and then 2 more blanks.
Grapes?
And I'll scribble that on the parchment.
Mm-hmm. All right, and as you do so, go ahead and make me a deception check. But
oh gosh, I'm good at that.
Since you answered correctly, you get to roll this at advantage. This is just because the 2 gnomish boys are watching you like hawks.
Unnatural 20 for my first.
Wow, okay.
And then, yeah, that's my higher.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all right, so they don't make any move towards you as you answer this first one. All right, and then the second one here, the security hint is, my daughter's hair. Please draw a line through the word. And then there is a word search puzzle thing here in front of you.
3 letters. So I'm going to draw a line on 7 from the left, 3 down, R, diagonal to the right. Sorry, from the right, not the left.
Yes. Yep. To spell R-E-D as you
Red,
do so.
correct.
Yep.
Wow.
All right. And
Great team.
as you circle around there, the gnomes again narrow their eyes, so make me another deception, but with advantage since you got the right answer. Captain
awesome.
Brisby.
12 or 16. So I guess 16.
So 16. All right. And then one of them looks at the other one and kind of nods, and they're like raises an eyebrow, and the other one like nods. But they turn back and look at you as you're about to do number 3 here. Okay. And the number 3 is security hint, my daughter's name. And then there are a bunch of blank spaces and the letters Tracanai.
Oh man.
Eli. Hey.
I know, I'm looking.
Hey, foreign exchange student, you know, first time in Waterdeep. Let's put your studies to the test. This is what real detectives do.
Yes, well, the Eladrin language for jumbled words is very complex, and this is not my native tongue, so I'm a little lost with your common language. I do see the word rat, and then oh man, Nat.
I am loving this.
Oh, I am so bad at these.
I'm fucking dying.
So frustrating.
Can I roll like I'm terrible at insight, but like insight? Like I'm trying to think like how can I dig deep?
Sure. Go ahead and make me an intelligence, just a straight intelligence. to see if you can recall something.
17, 18. 18?
Okay, so you do remember that those drawings that you saw on the wall, there was a name that was written in the bottom corner. You remember seeing cat, comma, 6 signed at the bottom. So C-A-T.
Cat. Oh.
Anybody else got something? I'm like shifty eye looking at
Katrina. Maybe?
Yeah, Katarina.
Katarina?
Final answer.
Final answer. I'm gonna slowly write Katarina while like looking back and forth. Like
yeah, and the gnomes just. So go ahead and make me a deception check with advantage because Katarina is correct.
Or yeah, 16's the highest.
All right. And she goes, "Oh, thank you so much." And she like holds it up and she's looking at the answers real close. She's, everything looks good. I'm so sorry for the formalities. It's just you insisted. And she takes her clipboard and kind of begins to dawdle off towards her seat after handing you a key to open your box.
Perfect. Ooh. Thank you, lovely lady.
Oh, yes. Let me know if there's anything else I can assist you with. Samwise.
Privacy.
Wise Sam, what are you ogling at? She does, and she's yelling at the two boys to, like, not look at you while you're doing this.
Perfect.
All right, so as you open up this box, here's what you find. First off, so you all can go ahead and open up handout number 6 for me here. So inside, you find a bunch of different pieces of parchment that have been rolled up, and you also find what looks like a small stuffed toy mouse trapped inside. So you see here, a letter catches your attention here. My dear cat, if you read this letter, it means something has happened to me. I couldn't believe Malady would betray you, so I determined to find the true source of the rat pox. I know I'm close, and if my suspicions are correct, dangerous people have their many, many eyes on me. I know you asked me to destroy your letters, but I couldn't bear to do it. I've kept every single one safe here at Harbor Holdings. Please read them and remember happier days between us, between Malady even. If I'm gone, she's all you have left. Trust her. Love, your father. P.S. I kept Mr. Squeaks all this time. May he remind you that we'll be with you always. And then as you look over these letters, you all can take some time to read them. But you see that this Malady and his daughter Katarina definitely had some kind of romantic relationship here. And things have fallen seemingly on hard times. And this Malady is a doctor of some kind. She seems to study diseases. So all of this. And then that final letter there is, Father, heard about the outbreak, am outraged, can't even write. Do not leave your apartment. Do not do anything. Stay safe. I will write again when I've made that traitor pay. Is the final compilation of that letter that you see there. And this little mouse that was clearly, a child's toy there, as you pick it up, it says, Mr. Squeaks loves you. And I think with that...
Laster loves you, Mr. Squeaks, and I just nuzzle into his face.
And I think with that, as you open this vault and you see that things have gotten just a little bit more convoluted, we're going to end the session for today. Thank you all so much for playing. I have had so much fun with this, and I cannot wait to play. So we will be back in exactly 1 week. Same time, same cast that you see here. We'll be back. But let's go ahead and go around the horn one more time. Who are you, and where can people find you in the meantime? So Bianca, let's start with you.
Yes, I am Bianca Zelda. You can find me on Twitter or Instagram as @BiancaZelda. I am a member of the Broadswords All-Women D&D podcast. Give us a listen.
Yes, and Jordan, where can folks find you?
Jordan, you can find me on YouTube, or Jordan with a silent PH in the middle on all the social medias. And I make Forgotten Realms lore videos, D&D lore videos, if you're interested in Dungeons and Dragons.
And Laura, how about you?
You can find me on Twitter at Win in Rome, and you can also see me tomorrow night with Celeste, and our characters might smooch on the Rise of Tiamat stream.
We definitely smooch a lot on that game. So, yeah, and JB, where can folks find you?
You can find me on Twitter at dropthedie or dropthedie.com, where I do product reviews and advice articles and things like that. Right now on Twitter, I'm hosting my 7,000 follower giveaway. It's going to be 7 prizes over the coming week.
Wow.
The first of which happened during the stream. I'm going to be giving away a dice box.
Oh, so pretty.
Is it too late for me to enter?
It is not. All you have to do is find that tweet. It's one of the very top ones on my page, and like it and follow Mistress of Mods and myself. And I'm going to be pulling the winner tomorrow night at 5 o'clock. Oh, and I can ship this anywhere. International people are going to have to help pay for shipping though, because this shit is real.
Yeah, I know, it's so beautiful. I want it so bad.
It really is. He does such a great job.
Oh my god.
I've been friends with Gene forever, and these are the Mark III prototype versions of his case. He's made such huge improvements, and I've been there every step of the way. He deserves your money, but I'm glad to give these away. I have a couple.
Yes, and my name is Celeste Konowich. If you want to hear me DMing more, you can check me out on Venture Maidens, which is an actual play 5th edition podcast that I am the DM for. You can find that wherever podcasts are free. We also stream on this Wednesday. We'll be streaming a new episode on our channel, The Venture Maidens. Like Laura said, you can find me here on Nerd Immersion on Rise of Tiamat, which is every alternating Mondays, including tomorrow, 6 to 9 Pacific time. You can find us there. This channel here, or follow me on Twitter at @cconowich, right there in the thing. But this is Nerd Immersion. We love gaming, especially Dungeons and Dragons. We have a bunch of great shows here. Mondays we alternate, like I said, either Rise of Tiamat or Princes of the Apocalypse, which will be wrapping up soon. But you can always check us out there on Tuesdays, or on Mondays. And then Tuesdays, Ted, so Nerd Immersion for this channel, plays in his homebrew game Everend, which you can tune in and watch. Wednesdays we have a show called It Builds Character, where we build characters from media as D&D characters. So check out our stuff. Definitely come back next Sunday to see all these fine folks joining me for the remainder of Rats of Waterdeep. Again, Rats of Waterdeep, you can always go right to the DM's Guild and download it. It is amazing, full of just great everything. Like the Bianca is playing right now the detective background, which is something unique to this module. You can get that in the back. There are also 2 additional subclasses that you can get, so little archetypes in the back of this book. Well worth your money. Please support. Everything Lysa does is amazing. So go get Rats of Waterdeep. But until then, we are so excited to see you next week, and thank you everybody so much for joining us. All right, have a good one, everybody.
Thank you.
Yay.